Hello, and welcome to the first edition of Connections Restored with your host, Amy Boswinkle, who will be your host for the remainder of today. Amy, welcome to your own show.
Thank you so much, Bill. It is such an honor to have been chosen to be able to represent Connections Restored TV, connected to the Bill and Callie Show Network. For everyone out in the audience, my name is Amy Boswinkle. I have a BA in psychology. I am a certified NLP master practitioner. I am an IFC ATCP certified health coach. That's just a really fancy label for saying that I have the tools available to give people transformational change. And what that means is not just information that is going to fuel people's logic, but actually give people the transformational change that they are, whatever stressor that they are going through. And I'm a certified RMT. It is such an honor and a blessing to have been chosen to be a part of the Bill and Callie Network, to be able to share with you what I share with others, who I help, just so that you guys know. I help people who suffer from trauma, PTSD, and addictions create peace within their mind so they find it in their life. And what better time than what is going on right now in our world? Bill and I were just chatting a little bit before our call, and we were just talking about all of the various news that is coming out into our world and how much it is really affecting the way that we're living. I've had many people reaching out to me over the past few weeks in fear, not understanding what's going on, understanding what's going on, being able to get over it, and then having the fear resurface. And I want to let you all know that that's actually really normal right now. When we feel uncertain, when anything feels uncertain in our life, when uncertainty is being presented to us, it's going to cause friction in the foundation of all human consciousness. So all human beings have a foundation that is based on love, safety, and belonging. And whenever we feel uncertain in our life, it loads up a feeling inside of us of unsafety. Uncertainty equals feeling unsafe. And when we feel unsafe, it loads up the central nervous system's response to stress, because the body only knows fight or flight. It knows live or die. And it's the beautiful and miraculous thing about the human body is that it's always doing its best to keep us alive, and we don't even have to think about it. And whenever we're witnessing other people in our life going through hardships, which many of us are right now, and I have a lot of empathy. Believe me when I tell you, friends, that I have a lot of empathy for trauma and PTSD because of my personal history and my journey of growing up in childhood trauma and losing my voice from it, feeling unsafe, feeling unloved, becoming an alcoholic and a drug addict, and getting DUIs and being in trouble with the law because of it, just to give you a little bit of my background and understanding what it's like in my own life to be homeless and have no money and no job and no one to support me. I get it. This is a scary space for many of us. And our body is really just doing its best to keep us alive. And because we don't even have to think about it, what our focus can be on instead, what we can logically be thinking about is the fear that we're in. And there is a very harsh reality going on for many of us in our world right now, where some of us are not working, we're not bringing in income, we're not being able to be in the physical presence of our family members and people that we love. Some of us are getting cabin fever. We're starting to realize that this may be going on longer than we thought, and that is presenting a deeper fear inside of us. and it's loading up. So what's going on inside of the body, right? The part that we don't have to think about, because our human body is so beautiful and so amazing and doing everything in its power to keep us alive without our knowledge of it. What's going on internally is all this fear is sending a signal to our central nervous system. And that central nervous system is sending a signal up to our brain. And our brain is saying, oh goodness, Amy, you're scared. You're about to die, because the brain actually has a very primal part to it. Only our logical mind understands the reality of what's going on in front of us, which is very traumatic. We are in a crisis state in our world, and many of us are being affected by it very drastically. And that's why I feel it's so important for people like myself who have tools available to come on and share the message as often as we can, to give you guys tools, practical tools, so that you can practically apply some things in your life to give yourself a little bit of self-care. So as the signal is going up to the brain, it's sending that signal back down the spine to the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are emitting two hormones into the body, adrenaline and cortisol, and those hormones are literally being emitted out into the body so that we don't have a heart attack, so that we literally don't have a heart attack. And our body is just doing it on its own, and that's the miraculous thing. But when we're not concentrating on tools for our human body, and we're caught up in the fear, and we're not doing things to calm down that central nervous system response, then we're going to be emitting a lot of cortisol and adrenaline into the body over and over and over again. And in time, that's going to cause a lot of fatigue. It's going to cause anxiety. It's going to cause depression. Some of us may already be experiencing this. And for those of you who are like me, who have experienced trauma and have PTSD, what it's doing in the brain is it's loading up a time period in our life where we felt unsafe before, somewhere in our past history where we felt unsafe before, and what our brain is going to do for us in those moments, and we're not even aware of it. It's not even a part of the process of the logical brain, but we're going to revert back to what helped get us through those experiences, what kept us safe, what tools kept us safe. Drinking, because drinking for me, it allowed me to numb out so that I didn't have to deal with the reality of what was really going on. Now, this is just my story. I just share my experience. Some of you may relate to that. Some of you may not relate to that, but that was my experience. I used alcohol and drugs as a gateway to escape and numb out so that I didn't have to look at what was really going on, because it felt unsafe, because I didn't have clarity around how to handle the way that I felt. Now, there are some really practical things that I have learned in my own life, and things that I share with my clients. And I do have a private community, if anyone is interested, here on Facebook, called the Village of Connections Restored, where I have just released one of my courses called the 5 Steps to Infinite Hope, to help people through this time of crisis, where I'm also a published author, and where I have laid out the 5 steps to boosting our immune system so that we can stay strong, so that when we're experiencing these things and our brain is going to all of the problems, we can actually shift that mindset and start looking at, even if we only can for a moment, solutions that can get us through these problems. Because a growth mindset, a mindset that can see opportunities and that can shift, a growth mindset, will be able to connect to tools to keep them safe, loved, and belong in this period of consciousness that I personally believe we need more connection now than ever. And that is what I absolutely love and adore about the Bill and Callie Show Network, is they create opportunities for us to connect. And if you guys didn't see the episode yesterday about the llama takeover, just something to get your mind off of what's going on, I highly encourage you to scroll through their feed and look at that. Because it's little things like that that allow us to have nourishment, self-care, and take our mind off of the problem and focusing on what the problems are and actually looking at solutions. And some of you might be saying, well, how is looking at lamas a solution, Amy? How it is a solution is that it gets our mind off the problem for a moment. It allows us to relax and see that there are actually some really good things going on in life right now that we might be missing if we're only focused in that fixed mindset of seeing the problems. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to know what's going on in the world. I'm not saying that at all. We do need to be informed, and we get to make our choices around how we stay informed. But we also get a choice in how we take care of our body and what we do. So a tool that I utilize with my clients and in my community quite frequently is something called a 5-5-7 breath. And a lot of you might be saying, it's as simple as breathing. It's as simple as breathing. I'm going to explain to you why. When we're in crisis, when it feels like this world of uncertainty is loading up on safety, when we feel like we don't have enough money to pay our bills, or give our children the things that they need, or have enough food in the household, or whatever it is that you're walking through, the body automatically, without your knowing, because remember, the body is so miraculous, it is doing everything in its power to keep you alive, and you don't even have to think about it until something goes wrong. And we don't want you to get to that place. What I don't want you to do is to get to that place where everything is going wrong, where you start to load up other physical health ailments, not just anxiety and depression, but high blood pressure and high blood sugar and cholesterol issues. Because a lot of us, whenever we're feeling unsafe and when the body's calling for nourishment, what we will confuse nourishment with is food. We will eat as a form of comfort. And if you're anything like me, when I used to drink, I would go to alcohol as a form of comfort, right? But literally, we have the power through deep breathing, because when we're in those fear spaces, the body automatically goes to shallow breathing. Now, when we're in shallow breathing, we're not getting enough oxygen into our body. What does oxygen do? Oxygen is life force energy, friends. It is life force energy. You become a force of nature with life force energy. So when you're taking in that deep 5-second breath, what you're literally doing is you're allowing more oxygen to come into your lungs. When you get more oxygen in your lungs, it gets into your bloodstream and it gets into your cells. And then now your cells are more oxygenated. We start to have more energy. As those cells travel through the circulatory system, your blood system, you get more oxygen to the brain. When we get more oxygen in the brain, we think more clearly. When we think more clearly, we can make better, clearer decisions around what nourishment we actually need for our life. And what does that 7-second exhale do? It allows us to calm down that central nervous system's response to stress, which in turn calms down the amount of adrenaline and cortisol going into the body so that we are not stressing out those hormones. Because in my opinion, what I've learned on my journey of healing myself from alcoholism, drug addiction, and binge eating disorder, when conventional medicine didn't work for me, and I'm not against conventional medicine, it is saving lives and I'm all for it. And I love that it's in this world and that it's a space for us to be. I'm just talking about my journey and the things that I've learned is that making sure that our hormones in balance can actually keep us more centered and more balanced. It doesn't eliminate the fear. We all are still going to stand in fear. We're just going to be able to walk with fear differently. Walk with fear differently. If we practice these tools and create a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset and start to see solutions rather than focusing on problems. Now, what we can do, we all have problems. We're all experiencing stress. And I'm not saying to ignore that, but it's about sitting down and getting really clear on what is this problem right now? Like, what is a solution that I can focus on to help me navigate this problem better? What action step can I take to take one step closer toward that solution? Even if it's not the solution I really want, if you can walk one step forward towards the solution, it's going to make you feel lighter in your body. It is. It is, because when we feel like there's hope, when there's light at the end of the tunnel, even though we might not quite be there yet, it makes us feel lighter. And it gives us, when we feel lighter, we actually have more energy. When we have more energy, we can take more deep cleansing breaths to get that oxygen and that life force energy inside of us. So what I want to do before I conclude this session today is I want to take you all through 3 rounds. I'm going to count it out. For those of you watching, I want you to get in a comfortable position. If your legs are crossed and you're sitting, both feet flat on the floor. If you're lying down in a bed, great, just get comfortable. If you're standing up, just be as comfortable as you possibly can. I'm going to count out three counts of this so that you can see just how quickly this tool actually works. If you just take a moment, this is going to take literally 60 seconds. And what you do is you actually have the power and the control to calm down that central nervous response to stress. Is it going to go away? Is it going to eliminate it completely? No, but it is a tool to help you navigate and feel calmer, safer, to get more oxygen in your body, which is life force energy, to make clearer decisions, and to calm down the adrenal gland's response to stress. So go ahead and get in your comfortable position. What the 5-5-7 breath is, it's a 5-second inhale. I'll count that. You're going to hold your breath at the top for 5 seconds. Then you're going to exhale for 7 seconds. A longer exhale. Why? Because we're calming down the central nervous system. We're calming down those hormones. The hormones aren't going to stop. They're there to keep us alive, but you're going to calm down the amount of adrenaline and cortisol hormones being emitted into your body. So what I would like for you all to do right now is to go ahead and breathe out all of the air that you have in your lungs. Just go ahead and breathe it all out. And I want you to inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, what I'd like for you to do, friends, those of you watching this, go ahead and put in the comments right now how you feel. How do you feel now compared to how you felt at the beginning of this live stream? And I want to encourage all of you that have gained benefit from this conversation today to share this live stream to your audience, because there are people in your audience. You do have friends that you are connected to that this could really benefit. Not only Connections Restored TV, but the Bill and Callie Show Network as well, because they are providing lots of opportunities for people to stay connected, whether it's through the Llama Takeover. They also had on their show recently My 11-year-old cousin, Addison Brown, she can be found on Facebook, Many Miles of Smiles. She's creating bags for nurses right now to give them reprieve and benefit. Ryan is a part of the Backpack Project. You guys can find him on Facebook at Pack the Kindness. He's 14. You can come and find me at Connections Restored, and please make sure you guys follow Bill and Callie. They have graciously allowed me to come and share with you every Wednesday at 12 noon opportunities to share the wisdom and knowledge that I have gained. So please make sure you share this post. Please make sure you like and follow the Bill and Callie Show. Please come and like and follow my page, Connections Restored. Again, I love you, friends. If there's one message I could share with you today, please know you are important. I know the times feel uncertain. I do. And I have lots of empathy for you. But please know there is a person out in this world who loves you very much and who cares about your well-being. And if you desire to stay connected to me, you can like and follow my page here on Facebook, Connections Restored. And you can also find me here next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Again, my name is Amy Boswinkle. I am representing today Connections Restored TV as part of the Bill and Callie Show Network TV. And I have been truly honored and blessed by each and every one of your presence. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you, Bill. And thank you, Callie, for this beautiful opportunity.
We thank you, Amy. This has been wonderful. Can't say how much this is needed right now. And I hope people are going to take the opportunity to view this video and share it just because of the benefit. Your breathing exercises help me. And I think I told you the other day I was going through some stress. And right now those really have got me in a calmer state. So, and oxygenation of the blood is always good. So I thank you. Is there anything you want to leave us with? Anything before we go?
I don't think so. I feel like the deepest, most powerful message my human is here to share with all of you is just know how infinitely loved you all are. You're all so loved. And if you forget, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I'm happy to remind you. And if nobody told you today that they loved you, I'll tell you, I love you. Thank you so much, friends.
Thank you, Amy. And with that, we'll say goodbye, everyone. Have a safe day the rest of the week, and continue to hear what Amy just shared with you. It will help. So with that, we'll say goodbye for now. Thank you, Amy. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.